Learn to be super successful. Subscribe to my channel, Meathead. But that has not been funded. We're very much akin to a private equity fund, because that's what we are. We're a private equity newco that hasn't been funded. Hasn't been funded. So you will, and again, if at all possible, if you're in Columbus, Ohio, and he's in Toledo, you go see him. Now, if you're in Columbus, Ohio, and he's in San Diego, but from Columbus to Toledo is a car drive. And even though they won't expect that, now some of the guys that are really keen will drive to see you. Now, if they're willing to drive to see you, you got them. I mean, you got them. I don't mean in a negative way, but you got them. And the more people that you add to the board, the easier it becomes. Now, if you get a chairman that said, I'm very interested, but I'd like to talk to you again when you've got your board built next, that means he's not willing to take any risk whatsoever. Risk to their reputation. Because all these guys and gals are in the golden time of their careers. They've spent 30, 40, 45 years, and they don't want you to tarnish it. They don't want you to tarnish it. And for the older guys in the room, it'll be easier because they will understand that you understand at 45 years old, you better understand that a guy that's 70 with 50 or 40 years experience doesn't want somebody shitting on his reputation as opposed to a 20-year-old. That's implicit. Now, and it's right. There's no reason why you should want to. And I know you don't do it on purpose, but our self-sabotaging guy here, you will engage in ill-advised actions. Now, for those of you that I only scanned a few of your Facebooks, and I would close them down. They're embarrassing. Even the adults in the room, they're embarrassing. You do what you want. You need Facebook like you need AIDS. They're an embarrassment. And it's gone to the Supreme Court in America that you can't use Facebook to discriminate against hiring people. Everybody uses it. Everybody. Including HR of the big companies. But most of you have shit on Facebook that's nobody's business. But you do what you want. Now, I was banned by Facebook. And I didn't really have, other than swear words and cunt shit like that, but I didn't have any outrageous pictures or anything like that. But I was banned when I jumped on Zuckerberg about being an asshole thief. I'm sure they don't say I was banned for that, do they, Kat? No. But that's why I was banned. Okay, so now you've got a chairperson, and we're going to make it easy. He's geographically desirable. You're in Atlanta, he's in Dallas, so you can see him. I'd go meet him. Driving. And social distancing. And now when you go to meet him and you can go for a coffee or a lunch, you're paying. But if they invite you to, well, why don't we have lunch at my club? That means they want to pay. But unless they volunteer that, you're not. So be careful where you invite these people to, because it's going to be your pennies. And all of this never happened to me. I've seen it happen to some big hitters. When your credit card bounces, it doesn't send the message of strength that you want For a $38 bill, your credit card comes back, however they do it. I don't know. That's never happened to me. But of course, I don't carry cash or credit cards. Sally does. When we're in New York, Sally gives me a $20 bill in case I get lost. And when we're in London, I get 20 pounds. I don't carry money, no credit cards, nothing. And when you go out, and especially in the Middle East, Asia, when the woman picks up the bill, it's insulting to the other people. And I do it on purpose. It's insulting. It's meant to be insulting. Asshole. I'm not recommending you do that. But you won't be taking your wife to meetings. Your wives aren't going to last that long. I used to take a vote and say, how many got supportive, significant others? I don't do that anymore. It's just a waste of time. Just a waste of time. And then I used to poke you in the eye about it and ridicule you and shit like that. But I don't get off on that anymore. Shows you I must be maturing. Finally at 75. But don't be embarrassed when they leave you. And don't ask why. Don't let the door hit you in your flabby ass on the way out, honey. I know you won't do that, but it makes you feel good. Okay, so now we've got our chairperson. Retired, all the big law firms, healthcare professionals, all the big accounting firms, healthcare professionals are perfect. Now, you heard Tom, the drunken sailor, say that the firm that he uses, one of the big firms, knows of me, and they like the model. Most people that you're going to talk to have nothing bad to say about me. Because the model does work and we create fees. So if you had a serial entrepreneur shoving business at you that's not an embarrassment, why wouldn't you like it? And that's what we provide. And we've been providing it almost 30 years now. With no big hassle. Because I understand and I teach you to understand what the big law firms and what the big accounting firms can do and what they cannot do. And they can all do success fee. Now, accountants, according to the GAAP, General Accepted Accounting Principles, GAAP, says they cannot do audits contingent on anything. But we're not asking them to do audits. What we do ask them to do is quality of earnings due diligence. And there's no stipulation in General Accepted Accounting Principles that says they cannot do due diligence for potential acquisitions on other than a delayed fee basis. So if they tell you we can't do these deals, they're lying. They don't like you and or the deal. That's a lie. Flat ass lie. And that means somewhere in the cycle of how you get these guys to the altar, you fuck something up. But you don't go back and try to correct it. Because there's thousands of accountants and there's thousands of lawyers. And you heard Margot earlier today say, I went to them 3 times, once in Fort Lauderdale, once in fucking Tampa, I forget where the other one, and finally the third one accepted the deal. Okay, any questions on where I've gotten to so far? Yes, sir.
If you have a board member that either leaves or you got to throw out, how do you go about covering that percentage? Do you do a buyout?
No, you're getting ahead of yourself. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I suffice it to say, in the last 10 years, we've only had 3 people that we had a fight over equity. Shares that we've given out, that we had to get back. That's why you don't give out the shares until the board meeting just before you do your first deal. but we've only had 3 times. And we got the shares back all 3 times. And I'll explain to you how you do that when we get to the structure and how much we give the directors, et cetera, et cetera. And remember, if they ask you about pay and that kind of stuff. Another huge red flag is when you follow the share structure that's given as an example, and it's not enough. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. So-and-so. It's obvious this isn't going to be a fit, and good luck to you. That's it. Just you get up and leave. If you're there, or you hang up the phone, or whatever, however you do it, you just remember, we're not in the why business. We don't explain anything. Costa Grazos, and all the years I was there at Onassis Group, we do not, it's not dissimilar to President Trump. We don't explain or apologize for nothing. The big boys don't explain or apologize or say they're sorry. They're not pleasers. Okay, any other questions so far that we've gotten with the chairperson? Generally speaking, you want a chairperson, a CEO, a CFO, an in-house lawyer, an in-house accountant, which is separate from your CFO, and you want 2 or 3 industry experts. And the last 18 months or so, the U in the deals completed so far, this is Corona and pre-Corona, you've kept about 65% of the transaction. So roughly 2/3. You have 2/3, and 1/3 is to the other board members. And it's easy peasy. Yes, sir.
The industry experts, they're not part of the board, are they?
Yes, they are.
They are part of the board.
Correct.
Okay.
Again, 2 or 3 industry experts, an in-house lawyer, an in-house accountant, that's not your CFO, your in-house lawyer, and your CFO, and your CEO, and the chairman, and you. And your new titles, I'm telling you what the Vogue 21st century titles are. Business Development Director, Director of M&A, are perfectly acceptable in this day and age. Yes, sir.
And Chief Investment Officer?
No, you're not the Chief Investment Officer. You look like the chief thief. We're getting, what's it called? Social profiling. 4 or 5 of you in this room look like thieves. We're going to talk about dress later. But, I mean, you do. You look like crooks. EJ, give me the one on dress. We'll do it now. And if you don't, if nobody's ever told you that you look like a crook, then they're being disingenuous. Is that the dress one? Yeah, okay. Normally I say for certain ethnicities, put your wallet on the other side of your... How many Dutchmen in the room? How many Chinese? How many Sri Lankan and those kind of half-ass other places? Bangladesh kind of shit. Put your wallet on the other side from where you're sitting. Where are you from? Okay, we're saying, he sits there like, not me, boss, not me. Pakistan, I mean. I came at a very young age. Oh, yeah, I bet you did. Now, the pecking order of, are you Muslim? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. There's a pecking order when you're Muslim. Pecking order. There's the high end of the pecking order and the low end of the pecking order. The Pakistanis are the only people that think they're at the high end of the Muslim pecking order. All the other Muslims say they're the shit, only above the Afghans. And I found that to be true. And I've been partners with a lot of Muslims. My Muslim brothers, the Kuwaitis, the Saudis, Pakistanis, Afghans. Who's my 530? 6. Is that it? 536? No, 630. No, 530, okay. Lady and gentlemen, I will see you tonight at dinner. I look forward to seeing the 530. These are not for reporting's sake. Those are for your information, these handouts. Handouts that the YouTubers don't get. The real secret sauce. And heed my words about homework. I'm not bullshitting. We used to rank and yank who looks like the biggest crook in the room and who looks like the most honest. But we had fist fights. And then we had boxing. So that's one of the reasons we had boxing, because we had fist fights. And they always get in fights when I go to sleep. It's not like when if you've noticed, we have security here at night. Part of the reason is not the first night, but from tomorrow night on, when you get a little tuned up, even though you're doing your homework, you have a surge of testosterone. And there's no place, and I'm not saying that because we only have one woman, there's no place for you to put it other than by punching somebody in the mouth. So, but that's how boxing started. And it's the one thing I do miss that we can't have because of Corona is the boxing, because the kids like that. And the ring used to be there for those of you that used to see it. And every single fight, somebody got seriously hurt. But we never put it on YouTube for all the obvious reasons. But every single time, somebody got seriously hurt. And for those of you that missed the Tyson Ray Jones Jr. fight, you didn't miss shit. I don't know how many millions they got for that, but I would have stepped in the ring. I mean, in my judgment, it was a farce. And Tyson won hands down, and they called it a draw. I mean, some of you could have fought with Roy Jones Jr. Maybe that's a little bit of a stretch, but okay, we'll see you at 5:30 at 5:30.